Welcome to the Pure Garbage Podcast with Lex and Mr. Smiles talking NBA.
All right, folks, Lex Cunningham here at the Pure Garbage Podcast. NBA. I have here with me Mr. Smiles. Yeah, my boy, he's back in the house.
Yes. What up, everybody? How's it going today?
Fantastic day to be talking NBA as usual, my friend. You being our resident expert, our guy, my go-to, despite the fact that sometimes you come in here wearing shit I don't like.
Hey, man, today it's all Raptors gear today, so we're representing for the undefeated team.
Yeah, he's wearing some beautiful Raptors gear. My lord, he and I are making up. Let's start off with Kawhi and Lowry, from the Toronto Raptors, folks. Both of them gelling.
Yeah, it's looking good. There's a great combination right now with Lowry and Kawhi. And Lowry's getting like the MVP chants and all that kind of stuff. Like the crowd is so eager to show love for Kawhi. But the real MVP of this team is Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry's having his best year, as crazy as that might say. He's a 4-time All-Star, but he's actually playing the best basketball of his career as an over 30 player, right? And it's one of those things where it's amazing to watch. He's actually averaging a double-double right now. He's having the most assists of his career. And he's just actually playing some great basketball. So it's a beautiful thing to watch. And again, remember our past podcasts, we've mentioned how he's gonna be sulking, but Lowry's actually looking at everybody saying, you guys thought I was going to sulk. You guys thought I was going to be all season.
Wow.
And one of those things where I'm playing great basketball and I should be getting credit for that because he's playing amazing basketball right now.
Yeah, definitely. I did say I thought Lowry was going to come out with tears in his eyes and be all upset. And he did a little bit in the preseason, admit.
Yeah, he got kicked out of that one game. He was kind of moody. But Lowry's a moody guy. He's a jerk. And that's the one thing that I always love about Lowry. You can say whatever you want about him, the look on his face, all that kind of stuff. But the jerk in Lowry is what makes him a great player.
Well, he's a gamer. Like Jack said last week when we had Jack Armstrong on, he even admitted that Lowry was a gamer, meaning he's a high motor or A-type personality.
For surely, man. And Lowry, like a lot of times I've shown hate for Lowry in the past, but this year, and I know it's only been 6 games so far for the Raptors undefeated, but this year Lowry's actually showing everybody, you guys can talk all the trash you want about me, but at the end of the day, I am this team's best player, even though I'm not rated the best player. He's telling everybody, I'm the Raptors' best player. I'm the go-to guy. I'm the glue, and I'm the reason why this team wins.
Let's talk pace, NBA. We noticed, you've noticed especially, that the scoring.
Yeah, the scoring is way up this year in the NBA. A lot of it comes down to teams are trying to play the same style, shooting a lot of three-pointers is part of it. But it's just getting the ball off the glass, which means rebounding the ball, and getting up and down the floor as fast as possible.
Flying!
And it's like, I think the average this year is about 6 points up based on last year's number. All the teams are averaging 6 more points, and every team's pretty much dropping over 100 points a night, which is a rare thing. And just the NBA has never been better right now.
Question for you, bro. Do you think it's because of the three-point shot? Everybody's now looking for those guards and forwards that can land the threes. Even our big boy
Valanciunas.
That's right. He's now nailing threes.
Did you see that? It's absolutely nuts right now. And it's one of those things where if you can't shoot threes in today's NBA, you're pretty much a dinosaur and you can't play in this league anymore. And it's one of those things, centers got to shoot threes. And another thing that a lot of teams are doing is playing small. Instead of like the traditional positions, point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. The power forward center slots, a lot of times they're sliding power forwards up to center and now playing with more 4 guards or 3 guards and one smaller forward. Like it's just the positions are kind of non-existent in today's game. And it's a beautiful thing to watch because now it's just all about getting up and down the floor and playing exciting basketball.
Steph Curry, what's going on with Steph?
Oh my God, Steph Curry's on fire to start the season. And it's one of those things where 2016, he was the unanimous MVP. And you didn't think he could play any better than that. Like he's shooting. But this year, the way he started this year, incredible. He had a game recently where he scored 51 points in 3 quarters. And it was just like, I watched that game and it was just a beautiful watch. He's like one of those things where he's shooting the ball and as soon as it leaves his hands, you know it's going in. And it's just a beautiful thing to watch. And one thing I love about NBA players, you know how, like, say for example, Kawhi, he's pretty much a basketball robot. No emotion, goes up and down and plays. But Steph Curry, when he gets going, the celebrations, the back pedal, the dancing, the little shimmy, all that kind of stuff. It's just a beautiful, exciting thing to watch. And I just love the NBA right now. It's never been better.
Okay, we got Durant. Durant rumor.
Yeah, well, Durant rumors right now is everyone thinks the Golden State's going to win 3 in a row this year, and then basically Durant's going to leave because he's getting the whole reputation of, hey, only reason you won championships is to join Golden State, and now Durant in his head probably he's thinking, okay, now I got to go to my own team, a different team, and try and win a championship. Toronto would be a beautiful thing, but we already got Kawhi. So it's one of those things where the rumor right now is the New York Knicks.
Whoa.
Now, they're a dumpster fire of a team. Like, they have a horrible owner, horrible play over the last 20 years. It's just they've had maybe one good year, and it's just one of those things where if he went to New York and won a championship, that will equal like 3 or 4 anywhere else because New York is still the mecca of basketball. It's like one of those things where they have the reputation of being the mecca.
Not Chicago?
No, definitely not Chicago.
Not L.A.?
L.A. has the best basketball players.
Wait a minute. What happened to Cleveland?
Cleveland, there won't be no NBA players be ever playing in Cleveland now that LeBron's gone.
I bought a Brooklyn hat.
3, 2, 1.
The bandwagon, when Brooklyn first changed their colors and all, and well, the Nets moved to Brooklyn and changed their colors and all that kind of thing, everyone had the Brooklyn gear jumping on the bandwagon, but that didn't last long. But yeah, Durant going to New York, coming east, easier teams, easier schedule kind of thing. The West is loaded. So if he came to New York and won a championship, he'd be the king of New York. He'd be an all-time legend. He's already an all-time great player, but that would put him in the upper echelon top 5 of all time if he ever came to New York and won a championship.
OKC, they're struggling?
Yeah, it's one thing when you come out the gate and you're struggling, especially in the Western Conference where there's basically 10, 11 teams that can make the playoffs and there's only 8 spots, you get off to a slow start, you might be missing the playoffs. You might be the outside looking in. And OKC, the team, right, they let Carmelo go.
Yeah.
And basically the star players are Russell Westbrook and Paul George, right? And the combination, I guess, is good, but they have no shooting on that team. And it's one of those things where Russ has to be incredible every night for that team to win.
Too much.
Mr. Triple-Double, and he's forcing it, and he's going after it. But if he has a lot of rough shooting nights and that kind of...
What are we in the week 4?
So, yeah, it's one of those things where... Russ has got to play great, and he's really not playing that great. He's off and on.
Too much pressure on that guy.
A lot of pressure. He's coming off a bit of an injury, too. But I love watching Russ play. He's one of my favorite players in the NBA, so I want him to make the playoffs. But they got to get it going soon, or they're going to be outside looking in.
Jimmy Butler.
Oh, man, Jimmy Butler. This guy is an awesome player, but he's same quality that Lowry has. He's a jerk. and he basically, a few weeks ago, before the season started, called out Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins, called them out, and you could see it in Karl Anthony Towns' face. They played the Raptors last week, and it's one of those things where Karl Anthony Towns actually checked himself out of the game. He had that sour, sulky look on his face, and I think Jimmy Butler's actually broke him, and he just signed that mega monster max contract, right? So he's the go-to guy. He's going to be making that big money between 30 and 40 per year over the next 5 years. So he's making a monster money. He's not going anywhere. He's getting paid regardless. But you got to show up every night, especially when you're considered a franchise player, an all-star player. Show up. You can't let another guy break you, especially a teammate. It just shows no heart, no determination.
There's, Jimmy Butler. Yeah, he's got a bit of an ego, though, too, no? Yeah,
he has an ego, and it's one of those things where a team that he still wants to be traded, he still wants out of Minnesota, but it's one of those things where he's going to go to another team, and that other team's got to understand Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler. So you got to know what you're signing up for.
You got to know what you're getting when you're buying the bag.
So you know you're getting this guy. He's a jerk. He's a great player. He might turn your franchise upside down with demands or want to do this. Who does he want to play with? How many minutes he wants to play? How many shots he wants?
Is he putting up Hall of Fame numbers to act the way he's acting?
That's the thing, right? That's what a lot of people say. They say he thinks he's a top 5 player, but he's not actually a top 5 player. He walks around like he's a top 5 guy. He can be. He's a good player. But he's not a guy who's going to be the number 1 player on a championship team at the end of the day. And it's one of those things where
seen them come before, seen them go out the door.
Exactly.
All right, Houston Rockets, let's stay flying with the super duper struggles. overall.
Yeah, well, the Houston Rockets, another team. Everyone picked them. Hey, the West, the two best teams are Golden State and the Rockets. Golden State's obviously playing amazing basketball. The Rockets, on the other hand, struggling. And they had the suspension of Chris Paul and all that kind of stuff. That you can use that as a crutch. You can use that as an excuse. But the team lost their two best defensive players in the offseason, and they brought in Carmelo Anthony, who cannot play any defense. And it's one of those things where the team is just struggling. And now James Harden has a little injury. It should be a short-term injury, but again, this is the one thing I got to keep on remembering. In the West, you get off to a slow start. All of a sudden, you're the 6, 7, 8 seed. You got to play Golden State in the first round of the playoffs. You don't want to get matched up with them because you know whoever Golden State plays, they're going to kill in the first round.
Here's a question for you before we take off. Your thoughts about the Spurs?
Wow. Well, DeMar DeRozan, amazing basketball to start the season. Like one thing over the years, as DeRozan was a Raptor, everyone talked about his ball handling and passing ability, but he's looking great on the Spurs. He's their leading assist man. He's their leading scorer. He's going to be an all-star in the West this year. And it's one of those things where when he first went out West, okay, DeMar DeRozan's all-star games are over. But I respect DeMar a lot, man. He's went out to San Antonio. He's playing great basketball. And I'm happy for him because a lot of times in sports when there's trades, both teams don't win. But this trade, the Raptors won by getting Kawhi. The Spurs won. They got an all-star player. And you're never going to replace Kawhi because Kawhi's a better player than DeMar. But to get a guy like DeMar who's coming in and playing great basketball and helping them win games, it's a great thing for both teams. So I'm happy, very happy for DeMar, and it's going to be a good season for him out there.
That's it, folks. NBA. Listen all the time, every day, every second you're breathing to the Pure Garbage Podcast. We'll be back next week with my man, Mr. Smiles.
Yes. Let's keep the winning streak going, Raps.
Thank you for listening to the Pure Garbage Podcast. To find us, subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Google Play, or Stitcher.